All right. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. It is official. The very first episode of the Going Out podcast. I'm a little winded. Just came upstairs. We sipping on some tequila. We got the 1800 Cristalino Añejo. You know how bosses do. But yeah, I got my homie in here. Marcellus, man, I appreciate you coming through.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Very first podcast. I know we all busy. And, I appreciate you coming through, man. And, yeah, we about to get it. It's the first episode. My homie Marcellus in here. He goes by Fat in the Hat, one of my promoters down here in Charlotte. And let me first get to business and introduce this podcast because I'm sure you're all wondering, what is this all about, right? So Going Out Podcast, it's a play on words. It's go, win, W-I-N, out, right? Because this podcast, for starters, is dedicated to the nightlife industry, right? But it's all about telling stories, having people come here, allowing them to get educated, and building a community, right? We want to talk about fun and interesting stories. We want to talk about people's experiences. We want to get to know our guests, how they got into this business, some of the things they went through, the challenges, if they have advice for people who are trying to get into the industry. But we also want to make it entertaining, right? So, we're going to be talking about funny shit, cool shit, entertaining shit, but at the same time, ultimately getting down to business, right? I'm your host. My name is Stefan, also known as DJ Tycoon. Just a little bit about me. I'll say this. We got plenty of time to get to know myself. I'm going to be on all these episodes, but, we'll talk about some of the finer details, but just a little bit about my background. I've done a couple things in the nightlife industry, right? So I've promoted at one point in high school and in college. I also bartend now. So many of you, when you see this episode and when you see this show, you'll probably recognize me from bartending at a lot of places around here in Charlotte, North Carolina. But I'm also DJ now. So that's my newest foray into the nightlife industry. But being that I have all these different perspectives, I really wanted to build this podcast and create a community around the nightlife industry and really be able to build a platform for not only for our guests to come here to be able to promote themselves, but also educate other people who are trying to get into the industry. Maybe we'll say some things to inspire you, maybe give some education, and hopefully help you avoid some roadblocks along the way. All right? So without further ado, got through that introduction. Appreciate you, my homie Marcellus. Welcome to the podcast, man. Let me play this little sound clip. All right. So yeah, my boy Marcellus, man. You're down here in Charlotte. Tell the guests, introduce yourself, tell them about yourself, where you came from, and basically what you do in this business and how you got started.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, man, appreciate you letting me come on to the podcast, being the first guest. Mm-hmm. Everything is already set up nice in here. You're very hospitable. So if you get a chance to come on, make sure you come on. He gonna show you a good time, all right? But yeah, man, Marcellus, everybody call me Fat in the Hat. Mm-hmm. I'm from Wilson, North Carolina, 252. But I went to college at Winston-Salem State University. Okay. The illustrious Winston-Salem State University at that.
Damn, fucking better rep your shit.
And then I've been in Charlotte for about 12 years. I've been throwing parties here in Charlotte, North Carolina for a long time. I would say about 10 years. But then I started like promoting in college and stuff. So I did that, but I've been doing it for a while now. And, God's been good, man.
Okay. Now, you got started in college. Did you always go by Fat in the Hat, or tell us about how you came up with that name and where that came from?
It's a really good question, brother. So I went by Top Flight Security in college. That's what I went by, Top Flight. So everybody called me Top Flight. But I promoted with my homeboy, my big bro. He's still my big bro to this day. My boy Julio. They had a team at college. Mm-hmm. And when I was a freshman, he was like, "Hey, man, I want you to come promote parties with me." Yeah. And I was like, "All right, bet. I'm trying to go anyway."
What was the name of the team?
Bat Entertainment. It was called Bad Entertainment. Yep, my boy Julio. So back in the day, we did some parties, and I, passed out the flyers, put them under the dorms doors and all of that. Mm-hmm. And that's when I started like saying in my mind, like, I might want to throw parties one day.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So, the Fat in the Hat. You was telling me when I met you. So let me also talk about how I met Fat in the Hat, right? Because it's crazy, man. God is good. He brings you into connection with people. I was out networking. I was doing some work for this podcast, getting ready. And shout out to Harold's Chicken. I used to work there. I used to bartend there. So, we're going to be talking about that. Eventually, hopefully I can have Elliot and them on at some point and get them to talk to the podcast as well. But so I used to work at Harold's, and, I came to Harold's. I saw you there, and we linked up. But you were telling me some stuff about, your name Fat in the Hat, but you had switched it up at some point, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about that story.
So my name Fat in the Hat, but I was like Top Flight. And then the name before that I had to change. It was my Twitter name. So I started this name on Twitter before I was on IG. So Fat in the Hat. And then it was going to be something thick fillet, but I ain't like that. So I stuck with Fat in the Hat. But when I lost some weight, I changed to Medium in the Hat.
Okay. And you actually ran with that?
Yeah, everybody called me Medium or Big Medium or whatever. Like whatever I went with at the time. But Medium in the Hat was my name. And then once I kind of gained some weight back, I went back to Fat in the Hat. I mean, I've always been Fat in the Hat. Don't get me wrong. But when I lost some weight, everybody said, you can't be Fat in the Hat no more. Like everybody used to say that. So everybody called me Medium. Because I ain't want to be small in the hat, medium in the hat, like some people said. I wanted to still be having, some kind of size. I like being a big dude, so Fat in the Hat. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. So you're promoting in college. Tell us about how you transitioned to coming here into Charlotte. Like, did you take a break or have you been doing this the whole time?
Nah, so 2012, when I got to Charlotte, a dude that I knew from college, Benny Gray, he was doing parties in Charlotte at a place called Fifth Element. That's how long I've been in Charlotte. And I told him that I wanted. It's on Fifth Street. It's
still open?
Nah, it's something else. It's like a little office. But he was doing parties there, and I was like, "Yo, I'm trying to get into the scene. I'm here in the city. Boom, boom, boom. What's up? Can you put me on?" And he put me on. I was on the street team, so I'm putting flyers out on cars and working the VIP line, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just put my time in to learn the kind of business and stuff like that. So I did that for a while, for a long time, for real. Until I, started like knowing a couple other people, and then me and my homeboys, we actually started a team together. Because my homeboy Hood, shout out to my nigga Hood. Me and Hood, my boy Hood wanted to be a promoter too, so I pulled him in, and then we started this company called Big Wave Promotions. So we and we still got Big Wave Promotions, but we started doing parties together, Big Wave Promotions. So we was doing clubs like Bar Charlotte, Label, Republic. He was locking down Cosmos on Friday. So we was doing parties together for a long time in the city and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. And y'all still rocking? Still rocking with?
Yeah, he a DJ now, DJ Double O. That's my homeboy. Yeah.
Okay. So we gotta get Double O on the show, man.
Yeah, Double O can pull up for sure. He DJs right now. And then so he also does some stuff with me on the promotion side too, because he still want to promote some. Okay. But he mostly a DJ now. So he kind of transitioned kind of like you did, went from bartender to going into DJing and stuff. He went from promoter to going into DJing, which he really loves DJing. So, but yeah, we was doing that, and then I kind of branched off, and in probably like 2018, maybe like 2017, I did my first party by myself at Sydney's, which is crazy to think it was so long ago. A place called Sydney's Wine Bar on North Tryon.
Is that place closed too?
Yeah, it's closed too.
Damn, you've been out here a minute.
Yeah.
So remind me, what year did you come to Charlotte?
I came to Charlotte in 2012.
2012. And you've been in the game since.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it's crazy. Something you mentioned, which I don't promote anymore. So I don't know if it's a lost art or not. But you mentioned passing out the flyers, kind of hand in hand. Do niggas still do that? Like in the age of social media, Twitter, and all that?
Not so much. People don't do. I was just having a conversation with someone I did an event with recently about going back to doing hand-in-hand flyers or flying parking lot. We used to fly parking lots. At the end of the day, that means that putting flyers in beauty shops and barber shops and everything, the mall. Right. Like that's how I started doing promo. That's how they had us doing hand in hand.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's how I met so many people too to this point. You know what I'm saying? That I'm still even cool with today. Is through promotion and then through working in the nightlife and stuff. So
hand to hand in the street. I remember when I was promoting, just to get into a little bit of my history. I started in high school, and it was a lot easier because I was in the school or whatever, and then I would go to other schools. But when I was in college, definitely hand to hand on the campus. I mean, you mentioned that you live in Atlanta. You said that to me before the show. Yeah. But I went to Clark, CAU, and shout out to my boys at Hit Squad Empire. But I knew them from Jersey because Hit Squad was a very big promotion team up at home. You know what I'm saying? I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah.
So back home, they call them street teams.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, dudes would have like these things called tags or whatever and kind of like wear them around your neck. It was kind of whatever. It might be looked at as cheesy now, but back then it was like the thing to do.
Right.
But when I got to college, His Squad was down there running some things. So, shout out to them boys. But yeah, like basically same thing. Like it's very much hand to hand. And, I used to have to go around campus and in those times we used to actually sell tickets.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I'm saying? Like certain venues will have like actual Ticketmaster stubs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That, we would kind of like make it work. But, it was kind of cool. Like back then we used to have like little competitions and stuff, see who could sell the most. But man, I think it's really like a lost start.
For sure. To piggyback off of that, back we had one of the biggest parties in Winston history. My homeboy Julio, I'm talking about Leonard, B-Dot, everybody. We had a big team for it. But we had a party called Colors, and that was back we was doing hand-to-hand tickets.
Right.
And I sat on the plots selling tickets all day, like during homecoming.
Right.
It's part during homecoming. But Thursday you get there, selling tickets hand-to-hand. Friday, hand-to-hand. Saturday before everything. And it's like you selling 300 and 400 tickets hand-to-hand right there because we did that at the Coliseum, so it was big. Man, yeah, that's a lost art of selling physical tickets to parties and going around and meeting people at locations and how many you need? 7. And then we ain't got no cash out, you know what I mean, back then.
Right.
So we ain't doing no Zelle, none of that. We doing cash transaction, keeping up with all that.
Right.
Man, that used to be a wild time, though. That was a wild time. Yeah.
That's
Everything easier. It's not easier, but it's it's smoother to do. Like transactions are very easy to do at this point.
Right.
But the promotion has definitely changed. You alluded to social media. Man, you got to like put ads on Instagram. And if you're not doing, I'm learning that though, because I'm like kind of against that, because I think I know a lot of people. So I'm like, man, I need to. But you want to reach the people who you don't knowingly know, because even though the people that you always that come to your joints, they gonna come to the ones that they want to come to, right? And that's what they supposed to do, right?
Right.
So now you got to figure out how to way to keep other people engaged and grow your audience and stuff like that. So that's what I'm learning again. As long as I've been doing events, I'm learning every day, especially in this new age of social media, because I'm a person to person kind of guy. Like we interacted when we met, it was very personable. It was very conversational. It was very discovering and everything. Right?
Yeah.
That's how I move in my life. But in this age ain't like that. This day and age ain't like that.
Right. I agree, man. So, tell us like where you're doing your parties now, like nowadays. Like, what are some of your favorite clubs? Like, where do you really like to work at? You know what I'm saying, who do you like to deal with?
Every club that I work at, I love.
You have a favorite though?
A favorite
out here right now. Who's really like? There's all right. So there are people that are doing numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and it's good. It's the popping place. But then there's also, I'm sure you can tell us, certain places that might be easier to work with, you know what I'm saying? Like business-wise.
My favorite 2 places to work, because it's a tie, is Section and Stats. Those are my 2 favorite places to work. Just to answer your question. I haven't worked everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? But out of everywhere I have gone, it's probably the easiest to work with them too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In my experience.
Hey, shout out to Stats, man. Their renovation is nice.
Fire.
Yeah.
I was in that other night.
Yeah.
We got a section. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Beautiful place.
Yeah. It's really nice. Well, my one point of feedback though, and because we could talk about this too. I'm into technology, all that. The TVs though. I was there for the Super Bowl. It was a little grainy, just a little bit.
Okay.
So, shout out to Stats. We love y'all. But as far as sports go, certain screens, gotta be fixed, or whatever.
Shout out to Section too, man. My boy Manuel been holding me down.
Yeah.
Cause I used to do places. I've done a lot of places. You were talking about where I've done. So I used to do coming out of COVID. I did Deluxe, and people eat at Deluxe right now.
Deluxe, fine dining. Yo,
upstairs used to go crazy. Ask the people that fuck with me.
Funny story. I used to work there.
Oh, word?
Yo, my nigga. I've worked so many places. Now, I've done, in terms of experience, most of my experience is definitely bartending.
Okay.
You saw the bar downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got everything.
So, yeah, I was very much heavy into bartending. And it's crazy how I got into bartending. It was really out of circumstance.
Okay.
Believe it or not. So for my audience, a lot of you know me. I mean, you may know me as a bartender or whatever, but I have like a professional job or whatever. But when I first moved here, I was working in consulting, management consulting. It's still the same thing I do now professionally. But when I first got here, I had actually lost my job. And it was really crazy because I had just bought a house, new baby. I've been here 6 months, lost my job, right? Went to Wells Fargo, did sort of the same thing, doing data analysis, sort of consulting on the commercial bank, lost my job again. And it was so crazy. I mean, God works in interesting ways, you know what I'm saying? And then I did a couple other things. I spent some time at the startup company. That was another crazy story I'll say for another time. But, man, it was so bad at one point. I was about to lose my house, so I didn't know what to do, right? Believe it or not, here I am, 26, just turned 27 years old, somebody with a degree, professional. Man, I was so down bad, I actually went and started serving tables, right?
Wow.
Dave and Buster's, Pineville,
Okay.
is where I got started. Shout out to Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, got me started. Shout out to my boy Kyrie. Actually trained me as a bartender. So, but when I first got there, I was actually waiting tables.
Okay.
I wasn't even bartending. I was just hustling, grinding.
Yeah.
Same way you see me now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had to get it any kind of way because so many things were going bad for me. It was just like a revelation. So I kind of fit into it, right? Started bartending probably about a month after I started waiting tables because they saw how hard I was working. They saw that I was like serious. It was like, all right, boom. Because like when these new restaurants open, there's often like a lot of turnover. Right. With your staff and everything. People come in, you hire a whole bunch of people, especially at a big place like Dave and Buster's, right? It's huge staff, so a lot of people leave. So naturally, some spots had opened up for me as a bartender. So, I was one of the hardest working people there because I'm serious. I'm a grown ass man. I mean, I'm basically working there with a bunch of young people, not that serious, right? So I started bartending right away. But that's how I got into it, right? And that was way back in 2017. So I still bartend now. Currently, I bartend at Explicit.
Okay.
Shout out to Explicit. Shout out to Sharon Will.
Explicit.
I had him on the show one day soon. But yeah, I bartend there right now. It's the only place I bartend at. I was bartending, at 2 or 3 places for a while, kind of juggling things. But now I'm just at that one place. But yeah, man, that's my main experience. So I don't know if I took us on a tangent, but I kind of went down the rabbit hole with that right there.
That's a grind, though. But that's what grown men have to do, though. We got to figure it out because we got a family, know. And then a lot of times, like even in my journey, when I hadn't had it figured out, man, you struggle sometimes. You feel me? So, but you got to pick yourself up because you got people depending on you. Like, you know what I mean? So that's the thing. Like at times, you just got to learn. Time tells. It ain't your fault. It's just that life is up and down. You got the vitality of life, up and down, up and down, up and down. So them low points hit you too, man. Even when you're doing parties, and it's nobody come. Or it be like light. You be like, damn, what I ain't do right. Yeah. So you look at yourself like, nah, maybe I ain't good enough. Nah, I mean, just everything ain't about to go crazy. It will at some point. But, early on when you're starting out, nah, it won't.
I feel you.
You got to just have resolve, man. And you got it. You got it. Look where you at, man. You got your whole nice pop. Boy, you got a nice studio, man.
Appreciate
I know
you,
you're still doing it, but.
Appreciate you. We just getting started, you know what I'm saying? Something like, but I mean, all things got small beginnings. You know what I'm saying? Great, big things got small beginnings. So, yeah, man. So, you mentioned your daughter, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you want to get into it. Like, do you want to talk about a little bit more about you, yourself personally? You know what I'm saying? Like, you say you from Winston, right? Or Wilson? Wilson, North Carolina. I actually spent some time. I went out, worked out there for one day, believe it or not, for a client I had out there, but. Crazy story. It's not that much out there, but so you're from Wilson. Yeah. You want to tell the story of the podcast, like what you do, like for a living, or besides the promoting?
Absolutely. So I have a nonprofit too. Me and my friends, we have Big Wave Family. So we've been doing Big Wave Family since 2015. Was Brown Bag Saturday, which you came to.
Yes. I did.
We've been doing
very
that.
Very dope event.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna edit some of that footage and pictures into here, so. The audience, they will be able to see some of the good work that y'all do.
Appreciate it.
Go ahead.
So we've been doing that since 2015, and we've been a 501c3 since 2019. So we want to make sure we get certified and be able to do a thing the right way. But Brown Bag Saturday is our staple event since our inception, and then we do other things throughout the year. We do a clothing drive, a women's drive in May, back to school, toy drive during Christmas. So, but the main thing we do every fourth Saturday is feed the unhoused in Charlotte. But we're trying to expand that too, so we can do more things more often. But of course, it takes money to do everything. So we're trying to get money, raise money to make sure we can execute our initiatives. And then ultimately what we're trying to do is open a 100-unit apartment complex with 4 storefront properties so the people in the building can work there. Because, transportation could be an issue for people getting to work. I used to work at a place called Randstad because I do recruiting in my professional life. But I used to work at Randstad, and Randstad, the main issue is the people didn't have a way to work consistently. If you got to catch a bus, I mean, even if you catch the earliest bus, sometimes you still may not get where especially you live far away. It's just so, transportation is a big issue. So we want to make sure we eliminate that part until they're ready by making sure they can work like downstairs. Not everybody, of course, but people who really want to better themselves, boom. Work downstairs until you can build up enough to get a car and then move on, let somebody else do it. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to do that, as well as like a streetscape and have a community center and charter school and a health center and all of that. So we're trying to get that done. So we got a CDC, community development. So we're trying to do that as well. So we've been doing that again since 2015, but certified since 2019.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, the brown bag event was real dope, man. I'm sorry I couldn't make it out to help y'all hand it out and capture some of that footage, man. But I think that's really dope. I mean, when I was promoting down in Atlanta with Hit Squad, they had something called Hit Squad Helps, and it really did make it a point to like get out in the community, do some things, do some community service, because that's also important, man. Being able to take the craft that you do, the business that you do, and being able to give back. I think it's important, and it's something that's lost on a lot of people, and they kind of figured about that, man. So big shout out to you.
I appreciate it, man. What kind of got me into this? So I was in a mentoring program back at home called Project Unity. Shout out to Mr. Woodard. Back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I wasn't bad, but I was bad. You feel me? It was funny. But anyway, so I got in that, and that kind of helped mold me. That group actually helped me with like everything for real. Like, so it got me to that point where I wanted to have a nonprofit and have a mentoring program. Oh, we have a mentoring program too as well at 2 elementary schools right now in Charlotte, making great men, making great women. So we're accepting volunteers for all of these things. So if you do want to volunteer, please reach out to Big Wave Family on Instagram, or you can reach out to me at _Fat9.
Word.
Yeah. But so yeah.
That's what's up, man. So so I went to your party at Imperial.
Okay.
Very lit.
Appreciate it.
Very lit. Very dope.
Shout out to True Vibes.
Yes, shout out to True Vibes. Very grown and sexy. Did you have a host when you was there? I don't think
so. The DJ that we have for that host as well.
Okay.
DJ Johnny KD. Shout out to DJ Johnny KD.
Yes, shout out to my nigga. Definitely want to have him on. Okay, so because I was going to ask, like, when you go about, putting together your parties, like, if you work with a host or a DJ, like, what are some of things you look for? Like, what are some of, obviously talent and everything, but like, what are some of the characteristics you look for in like a good DJ? Does like a following really matter? Does promotion really matter? Because sometimes I feel like out here, it makes a difference. You know what I'm saying? Some venues, some promoters only want to work with DJs if they could bring people to the party. You know what I'm saying? So what's your perspective?
So there has to be a value add for that DJ. So for me, my number one thing is, can a DJ host?
Right.
I mean, if a DJ can host, then I'm more apt to work with him or her because they're able to host as well. Because when I think about hosts,
right,
and there's a lot of great hosts out there, but when I think about hosts, a host and the DJ have to be like connected,
in sync.
And they have to be in sync, right?
Yeah.
And if they're not, then it doesn't do the party any good to me.
Right.
But the DJs that host, they know what they're about to play.
Kind of like a Swiss Army knife.
Hey, everything you about to say. Like you're in control of the entire party.
Yeah.
It's your show, right?
For sure.
So I typically stay away from hosts unless there's an event that I feel like I do want to at least have a host. But I have to make sure that host is familiar with the DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're not, then I just not gonna do it.
Right.
So yeah, but yeah, I gotta have a DJ that has some value add. I don't necessarily worry about following because again, most of the times now I'm doing like a partner at an event.
Right.
So if we don't got enough following, then that's the problem. That's probably a problem. I mean, you know what I mean? So the DJ has to be a good DJ.
Right.
He has to be able, or her has to be able to control the party. Make sure that people want to come back. The next time that I have you DJing my party, you got to make sure people want to come back. And, you know, I work with a lot of good DJs, a lot of great DJs. Shout out to DJ King, you know, DJ 00.
Okay.
You know, I work with Johnny KD. I work with DJ Concrete, DJ Persevere.
Concrete, that's my homie. I'm going to have Concrete on the show too.
Yeah, DJ KO. My profile, make it Sci-Fi.
Okay.
Yeah, man. A lot of trap. DJ Trap. I work with Trap.
Yep. I like Trap.
Shout out to DJ Von Dutch. So DJ Von Dutch was one of my DJs when I very first started as well. DJ Diesel, who's doing the party on the 23rd at Stacks, HBCU Pride Nation joint. So yeah, I try to work with CP, the People's Champ. I try to work with everybody because number one, I got to find out who can work my parties the best.
Right.
So, right? Because lately I've been having a lot of events. Right. So I got to make sure that I mean, people want different sounds sometimes. Right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't want the same person every single time. Yeah. And I think what taught me that was when my DJ couldn't make it and somebody else DJ, it was a good change of pace because people would tell me like, hey, I like him or her. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like sometimes that's important.
Yeah. So so again, it just has to be a value add. Some DJs do have a following, and you want to make sure that you involve them. You might be like, you know what? Let me just bring a DJ who gonna bring some more people because you might have a big venue, right? You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure they pack it out, right? So yeah,
exactly, because it's gonna be a good look. You know what I'm saying? That still matters. So in terms of sound, like, what's your favorite sound in terms of when you're having a party? Whether it's just your own personal taste or it's the best vibe for the party, whether it brings the most people out, or what's the best look for your brand. Like, let's keep it 100. What's your best sound now, right? Because you got different age groups, obviously, in terms of what kind of music is going to be played. Yeah. You know, you might have, you know, like a lot of NBA Youngboy, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of real hard trap shit, local shit that niggas might not know, like Cuzzo the Fool, you know what I'm saying? Niggas like that. Or a little bit of the older crowd. Like, what's your take on it?
I like DJs who know how to party. Right. I'm a party person. I like when I go to Houston, when I'm in Atlanta, when I'm in DC, like when I go anywhere, you go party. You want to hear some parties. You want to hear that. Like, so when I have a DJ, that's why I like DJ King and Hood a lot, 00, and Johnny, because those DJs can turn the party up and the experiences I've already had with them. You know, some of the newer people I haven't worked with yet, they are awesome DJs, but if I want a mellow vibe, I would go with a certain DJ. Right. If I want somebody who can play a lot of trap, I'll go with a certain DJ. If I want somebody who again, I want people to come in there and dance like you back in college. Like I want, you know, people twerk. Women, I want them to twerk. I want the dudes catching twerks. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or, you know, whatever. You know, I want everybody having a good time at the end of the day. So that's what I'm after. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then sometimes the venue might dictate the DJ for me too. Because I know a venue might be like more teed up. I gotta go with somebody who gonna tee, like have it bit blown off. You know what I'm saying? And then you might have a host for that because you want that thing to blow off. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And then I might go to a little mellow spot and they need something, somebody who gonna play them vibes you want to really rock with versus like that turn up music. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. But me, I want to party. I want to have a good party. I want to turn up. I want to have a good time. Yes,
absolutely. I think the energy in the building definitely matters, man. Like when you come in, you can feel the shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Electrifying. You know what I'm saying? Even the most, real talk, even some of the most dingiest, raggedy ass spots, you know what I'm saying? If you come in and it's a good party, man,
you going back?
Hell yeah!
Show, man. It's Charlotte has gone from like spots like that to like more elegant spots for people to look at, more aesthetically pleasing spots. Yeah, but we used to have like spit on the flow spots. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you don't give a fuck. It's dirty.
Right.
But that be teed up, so you going. Yeah.
Facts. So since we in Charlotte, we mentioned Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people, when they hear this podcast and other places, probably thinking like, why are we in Charlotte, right? I mean, first off, this is where we live at, but why run this kind of podcast from Charlotte? I mean, it is what it is. This is where we at. I do want to take this podcast and take it to other places, explore other cities, like Atlanta, Miami, obviously some of the big spots. But I mean, hey, this is where we at, so we're gonna get started here.
For sure.
But I want to know, what's your perspective on the nightlife here in Charlotte, especially, being that you spend a lot of time in Atlanta like I have compared to other cities. Like, I think it's got a long way to go. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of criticisms for, like, the nightlife here in Charlotte, but let's wrap on it.
I think that Charlotte has places you can go to get an out of Charlotte experience. You just gotta, like, it's just not a lot of them to go to.
Out of Charlotte experience.
Yeah. Like when you go to Stats on a Saturday night or Sunday. I mean, you in Charlotte, but it just feels like a party. It feels everybody's tea. Like, it's like.
Right. It's a big spot.
Everybody going to you going to Stats, you're going to go turn up.
Yeah.
It's just not a lot of places like that. Like, because you can go. I put it like this: when you go to Atlanta, Revel.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big spot. You go in there, you turn it up. 1145, pretty big spot. You going to turn up.
Compound.
So you got big spots.
Yeah. They call it something different now, though. What's it called now?
I don't even know what it's called now.
I can't remember. I got to look it up.
But even when you go to like when you go to Atlanta, you go in the spots and it's like everything is, you were expected to turn up when you go to these spots. Yeah. But you can go to your other spots, though. That's more chill.
Right.
So you got everything you have, but you just don't have a lot of them in Charlotte. Like, you can go to Encore, and Encore is a great spot, and I've done part of Encore. But not every night that you go on Encore, you're going to feel like you want to turn up. You know what I'm saying? But at Stats, you're going to do that.
I feel like Encore is a pretty dope spot. I've been in there some nights where it wasn't that full. I mean, for whatever reason. But I feel like, and I'm interested in hearing your take on this question. Like, when it comes to Charlotte, do you think it's not enough spots, like you said, which I think is part of it, or it's just not enough people that really want to turn up like that? Because I feel like Charlotte is still really kind of conservative.
I'm going to say this. Like, I think that the season matters.
Yeah.
Because Encore going to be jumping on Fridays and Saturdays and possibly Sundays when it get warm. Every spot is, really. When it get warm, people come outside. You really don't go outside when it's colder unless you're celebrating somebody's stuff. So I think that has a lot to do with Charlotte's like demographic, like people who going out. Yeah. When the summertime, though, when it get warm, it's tea. Like, everything lit. Like, the whole everything, you having a good time. I think when you go to like Atlanta, DC, again, Houston, anytime you go to these places, your expectation is to turn up, no matter when you go.
Yeah. Because those, to be honest, to be fair to Charlotte and to other places, those places are destination cities, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Atlanta.
We're not.
DC. Not yet. You think it will be?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Absolutely.
What makes you think so?
I think because a lot of people are coming to Charlotte.
Like, just moving here?
Yeah, absolutely. I think more people are coming than leaving. I don't know statistically if that's true, but in my, like, vantage point, when I meet people who, I might meet them in another city, and they like, I'm moving to Charlotte. I'm like, oh, well, damn, I just left. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm back and forth. I just left. I meet a lot more people who's coming to Charlotte. And then people who's friends. Like, I know a lot of people who are from other places. Right. And then their friends come. 2 or 3 of them might be moving to Charlotte soon. You know why? Charlotte lit. Yeah. I mean, I think Charlotte's really lit. Like, I think Charlotte's a great city.
Oh, shit.
I think one day, people are going to look at Charlotte like they look at Atlanta. You saw the article today?
Nah, what it say?
They were like, we don't want Charlotte to turn into Atlanta because they know it's on the way.
Really? Where was that?
Man, let me pull it up for you. Yeah. You follow Axios? Shout out to Axios.
Nah. Well, all right, so have you heard about Charlana? Have you heard that term? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Because they know it's on the way.
Yeah.
And it's all it's gonna take is for people to go out year round. That's the difference.
Mm.
People don't go out year round here, again, unless it's a celebration.
Mhm.
Celebration weekends like birthdays,
Mhm.
everybody outside when it's cold don't matter. But
Mhm.
once March, like let's get ready to turn March, like Friday,
Mhm.
and that season about to change. Oh my God, Charlotte be on 10. Every spot be on 10 then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I just think that when it get cold, it
Yeah.
ain't nothing. My homegirls is like, I don't know. But in the summertime,
Yeah.
they hit me up. Fat, where you at today?
Yeah. So, have you heard about this Charlana
Never.
thing? So, apparently, because Charlotte has been blowing up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I don't know the real statistic, but I know I looked it up at one point, and it's over 1 million people within Charlotte proper,
Right.
which is a lot. I know Atlanta might be more than that now, but at least when I was there in Atlanta, and it was still a crowded city, big city. But within Atlanta proper, it was only like 500,000-600,000. Now that that's just been blowing up. But Charlotte has been blowing up, and it's been growing. But I don't know. But basically, the whole thing about the Charlana shit is because Charlotte's getting so big, Atlanta's getting so big. Eventually, they're saying like the metro areas are gonna kind of like overlap, which I feel like that's pretty far out though. That's probably like 50 years out.
That's probably why I ain't never heard
You know what I'm saying? But nah, it's a real thing. You can look it up.
Charlana?
Charlana.
I don't think that'll work only because that's a lot of ground to cover
It is.
in 50 years.
Yeah.
You've driven this, that's a 4-hour drive most of the times.
True. But when you drive to Atlanta, I would say once you get like 40 minutes out, it's crowded as hell. Right?
Yeah.
Like around that belt, it's crowded as hell. It's packed. And then you got Greenville in the middle. Greenville. Now, I ain't never been to Greenville, yo.
I've been to Greenville a couple times.
Yeah?
It's cool.
What's
It's
it
a
like
cool
out
spot.
there?
Man,
What's
it's-
it?
I haven't been there enough.
All right. Have you ever done any parties out there?
No parties in
Nah.
Greenville. Nah. I don't have any people to my knowledge down there to do a party. So
Okay.
stick with Charlotte. Doing some stuff in Atlanta. We did DC.
Mm-hmm.
I got some partners in Raleigh. We actually got some stuff coming up as well. So
Okay. So you active outside of Charlotte then too?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you got any events already planned for the year?
Yeah. So by the time this comes out, possibly, we got something in Atlanta in May. Shout out all the Tauruses too. I'm a Taurus, May 4th. But we're doing something in Atlanta at Sweet.
Sweet. Yo.
Yeah.
Sweet's nice as fuck. I remember when it was Lucky Lounge back in the day.
Okay.
It used to be Lucky Lounge when I was in college. Like, oh wait, I'm talking about when Jeezy had the blue Lamborghini. Fucking President's Black Lambo blue, like 2008.
Crazy.
That was my freshman year. But Lucky Lounge, it used to be Lucky Lounge, but I went to Sweet. I don't know if the last time I was in Atlanta. I know. So my homie got married. My homie A Dot. Shout out to homie A Dot. Oh shit! Shout out to GME. This shit might stop. All right, we're back. So yeah, I was saying. So yeah, I was saying. Sweet.
Yeah.
Is nice as fuck. So you got your event there.
Yeah. Shout out to King, my man King down there. We got connected with him, and he got the date for us. So we're gonna work with them down there in Atlanta, and we did something in DC as well. Shout out to my boy Alb. We did something in DC. HBCU Pride Nation Day Party in DC. Shout out to Travis, my boy Travis. We did that Martin Luther King weekend in DC. So
Okay.
and that's what I was saying about like in the weather, people
Yeah.
came out and it was
And the
snowing.
cold.
It was snowing and people still pulled up. So I
Even
can
in the
imagine,
snow.
like in the summertime, I know it would go crazier. But yeah, so I'm trying to, I got like a bigger goal. Ultimately want to do like festivals and concerts.
Yep.
I went to Dreamville, and Dreamville inspired me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's next level.
Yeah.
Like concerts, festivals,
That's
and
what I wanna do.
I think you know what? Without saying no names, because I want this person on the podcast. One of my mentors, right, in the promoting game, kind of did the same thing. I don't really know whatever really happened to it, but promoted for a long time, and then wanted to get into promoting concerts and all that stuff. So I do feel like it is like a natural progression, and it's crazy that you say that. So, what's your plans on that? Like, have you started working in that, or what's your time horizon?
So right now, I've been working with like festivals. Like my homeboy, all that he has with a festival that be in DC. They did one in Charlotte, so kind of learning the little specificities for festivals, zoning and all that. Like, so I've been doing that. Kind of working with them, trying to learn. It's like everything I've tried to do, I try to like do it from the inside out. So, for example, I knew I wanted to, be good at promoting, so I worked with a marketing company, or learning how to market better. You know what I'm saying? Or I want to be better at customer service. You get a sales job, or you get a customer service job. Like I know that it's been strategy, but at the same till I get to where I wanted to go. Cause all those, you read books and they tell you to like have different skills, and then one day you'll be able to utilize them, the way you want to. So, I just been trying to like make sure that I learn what I need to learn first before I go out there and do it, and then accumulate the money it needs to, so I won't have to get like loans or get a lot of business partners and stuff. You're gonna have some, but I want to be able to do it the way that I envision it, have my team execute it the way I want to execute it, and then ultimately get into, like I said, those festivals and concerts and stuff, those larger things. Yeah.
Right. So you're talking about the zoning. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. I know that's hugely important because I went to Tomorrow World. You ever heard of Tomorrow World?
Never.
That's in Atlanta.
No, Tomorrow World.
Yeah. So it's not like, hip hop or nothing like that, but it's more like EDM.
Okay.
It was the only EDM festival I've ever been to. But yeah, some of my boys that I worked with at the first company I worked at PwC, when I first got out of college, we went down there for like 2 days or something. But it was dope. But down there, I don't know if that's special because it was on like this person's land. Apparently this rich guy, niggas got money, but he got like a whole lot of land, and they actually do the festival on his property.
Oh, wow.
Believe it or not.
Wow.
But as far as the zoning goes, how does, talk our audience through how that works, especially for like a festival, something that you're trying to do?
Man, and I'm a novice because my first festival I worked with was last summer. But just being able to, like, zoning, building a house on a certain area, you got to have the right zoning permit to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it does that for everything you do. So especially with a party, you got to be able to host it. The fire department got to be able to get there. All types of things that you got to like look at. Parking for large crowds and everything. So that's what I've learned so far, and that's why I want to get involved with more or the larger festivals, like a Dreamville, man. Like because they're doing it with like damn near 100,000 people coming. Like, how do you logistically make sure you got every permit you need,
right,
to make sure that goes off, and then without people getting told, what I'm saying? Because if you don't get the parking zones right, people could get told. Man, it's just a lot of nuanced parts to it that you got to understand.
You probably got to worry about like paramedics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right, you got to have like contingency plans and stuff.
Yeah, so man, there's so much like goes into it. That's why I say I want to learn it by working with them to understand like these the components, because I ain't even think about none of that. I just thought about like I'm a specialist at bringing people together. So all those other things I need to learn in order to get to that point.
So your festival, you want to do your own, or you got a name for it, or
nah, no name yet.
Okay,
no name yet.
You know where you want to do it?
Yeah, I want to do it here in Charlotte.
Charlotte?
Yeah, I want to do it.
So
here in Charlotte.
Can you talk about your vision? Like, how does it look?
So this is what I can say. We have a lot of great places. I like outside venues. Right.
Yep.
One of my favorite spots to go to is Camp in Houston, because they got an outside part.
I heard about Camp.
Because something about being outside. Like, even when we had 1501, or 1501 getting ready to close, but just being outside is fire to me. So, which is why I like festivals, concerts on outside. But my vision really is to bring artists, like just do like artist festivals, but do it here, because I want this economy here to continue to grow, right? Because you need the money in order to make sure we can. Because I want to give back a lot. Like the reason I'm doing probably everything I'm doing is because I want to give back more than I've gained in a sense. Like I want to make sure I give it back. I mean, because we started in 2015, I ain't had nothing. I was just wanted to do something that was cheap in order to make sure they can eat. You know what I'm saying? Because I've eaten sandwiches and chips my damn self. So it's like, man, I know how fulfilling that might have been at that time for me. So I can do this. I can put $20 together real quick. Right. Me and the boys can put it in, boom, make the sandwiches and stuff. So, so I just want to make sure that I'm giving back more. So the concerts are going to be a way to make sure kids can go. When I say kids, I mean like teenagers. I mean, my first concert, I was like, 24? But I think that's something you should experience younger, when you have more freedom. Like I had a baby at the time, like, you know what I mean? So you can't really afford to be paying hundreds of dollars. Oh, they way more expensive now, but hundreds of dollars for a concert.
Yo, I don't even do concerts like that, man.
Senior trips, like your senior trip, you got a controlled environment. Y'all can't drink. Y'all gonna be in this one area, but y'all get to have fun. You know what I mean? Because think about it, my daughter gonna be growing in this. I want to do it by the time my daughter turns 18, so she can take advantage of these opportunities. Because you don't really, you want to be responsible and stuff, man. I want to make sure there's more responsibility because we're going to, they had incidents and everything, so that you have all this stuff going on. So I want to have controlled audiences in my festival, but just bringing like this huge influx of money to Charlotte, to the area. You know what I'm saying? Without getting too detailed, I got more, but I try to be sure of all the plans first before I say it. But yeah,
that's dope, man. Yeah. I love that. Well, I mean, good luck to the festival thing, man. Like when you get into that. And get started, man. Hope it all goes well for you because I feel like that's a tough industry. You know what I'm saying? To really get it like a big following because, you know what I'm saying, you want to be lit. You know what I'm saying? You basically want to make your stamp on it. But like Dreamville, I mean, J. Cole, like that's his thing. But like to have like a homegrown festival, I mean, who else has done that? Like that, right?
I don't know.
I mean, I've been to Afropunk one time. I'm not even like a festival concert kind of person. Okay. Like real talk, the only concerts I've been to, I could probably count on two hands. I've been to the homecoming concerts when I was in college. I went to Tomorrow World, which was in Atlanta, and that's probably the biggest actual festival, probably the only real festival I've ever been to. Okay. But I went to a Migos concert out here one time at the amphitheater. Okay. And Music Factory. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you talking about
with the Metro lineup.
Oh, by the Fillmore over there.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Over there. And I did take somebody to the Moneybagg Yo concert one time at the Fillmore as well. Okay. Okay. But I mean, the festival game is a different game, man. So, shouts out to you.
Appreciate it. You're gonna have partners and everything. So I'm gonna have people that's gonna help me. But I just want it to be because you know what? I think I'm more in tune with local artists now. I got homeboys and homegirls that really have really good talents. So I got some music shows coming up, like some showcases coming up too with some of my friends. So looking for those coming up soon. But I got those coming up because I want to make sure we highlight local artists and stuff. Because I admire people who can do a freestyle, like come out here and freestyle, go crazy right now and go crazy. Like shout out to my boy Sonny, man. My boy Sonny probably one of the best rappers out here, and I know he gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I want to showcase him. Shout out to Nia nice too. But yeah, a lot of people who do their music, I want them to be like have an audience. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So as I do transition from like full-fledged parties, which I would never stop doing parties per se. Right. I might transition to how the parties go. Make it because I'm getting older. So at the end of the day, I don't want to be just doing parties. I want to kind of be doing like galas and stuff like that. Right. More intricate, more niche events. I actually got a art show coming up in May as well. Me and my boy Serge, Art and Soul. Nobody knows about that yet.
Where's that at?
It's going to be, we haven't locked down the location. That's why I haven't announced it yet.
Okay.
I'm down to 3.
You got a date though?
May 25th.
May 25th.
May 25th at 7 p.m. Art and Soul. So we're going to do artwork. Like the artist's going to explain their artwork, like some pieces, what they did it in and stuff like that, and why they did it, what they felt. and then while the next person setting up, the spoken word art's gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna have a live band as well. So
Our shows is lit, man. Live band is lit. Very, very grown and sexy. How old are you again?
36.
36. Okay. We're on the same age. I'm 33.
Yeah.
I'll be 34. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff we're talking about, we can relate in terms of like what it was like back in the day and all that shit. So yeah, pretty close in age. So you're talking about your partners.
Yeah.
I got some of them on the camera. You know what I'm saying? I got them to do some shout outs, so I'm definitely gonna chop them in. You wanna tell us about the partners? How'd you meet them?
I've done events with a lot of people. One of my most recent partners is True Vibes, Sam, my homegirl.
Which one was that? Was that the one with the brown? Yeah, it was two.
She had a black on.
The one with the black with the glasses.
Yeah,
she had glasses. Right? Yeah.
So her and Shavonda is her business partner.
Yep.
So I've done events with them.
So they're True Vibes.
They're True Vibes, and they have a real big army of women. And men, they have men too. Right. They have a really good following. And they're really good people as well over there at True Vibes. So that's why we've connected. And every time we do something, it goes very well. Not just like the numbers as far as the vibe go, like the energy, the party.
Right.
I mean, we have similar demographic of people that come, party. Excuse me. So, she's been a joy to work with. But I work with, my homeboy Emmanuel at Sections. That's one of my partners. My boy Hood, 00, who I was talking about, is one of my partners. I work with Kid at West End. I've done parties with Super Dope Nation, my homeboy D'Angelo. I've done parties with a lot of people. Try to like keep it with demographic. Well, we got similar demographics, but at the same time, you want to work with your friends. You know what I'm saying? So I want everybody to win. So hopefully, we continue to win together.
So how many? Hold on, let me. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We had to take a little break real quick. First time podcast shit. Run into a little road bump, so we're still ironing that out. So we're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna keep it rolling. But yeah, man. Last thing we're talking about your partners and everything. How you met them and everything. So, did we finish getting into that? Like, so tell me actually how you met, like how you actually came in contact with them and how y'all formed your relationship.
So I actually went to True Vibes event last April for the first time. So I saw they came on the scene. They did one in Imperial in February and March.
So they've been doing Imperial for a minute.
Yeah, they've been doing Imperial for a minute. So I saw theirs from afar, February, March. March, we actually had a day party the same day. Because I was going to actually go to theirs. And ironically, we and her talked. She said that she was going to come to mine, but she had one, so we didn't get to make it. And then I didn't have one that weekend. Or I made it a point not to have one that weekend so I can go to her joint. But I went, we met. And then really from there, we had always talked about, doing something together. We had been seeing each other's work, and we kind of vibed out. And, I think our first event was the cookout we did at West End, I think.
Oh, West End.
We did West End. I love West End, y'all.
I love West End because West End is one of the few spots you can smoke at. You know what I'm saying? On a patio. I might have to bleep that out, but it is what it is. Like, I love West End. You know what I'm saying? Real cool vibes.
Shout out to Kid and Rob.
Yep. Yeah. And it's on the way out on the highway, so I'll be stopping in there. Shout out to my girls at the West End. You know what I mean? They know who he is. So yeah, man. So if you had to, impart some kind of secret sauce, cheat codes, innovations or just general advice for anybody out there that's trying to get into the game, promoting, doing what you do, what would you tell them based on what you learned?
Well, there are no cheat codes. First of all, I think it's like everything organic. That's what I think the main advice. My number one piece would be just everything need to be organic. It don't need to be forced.
Right.
Or you don't need to be lobbying for people to come. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's just really like do it because you want to provide a good experience for people to come. I think that's what I did it for. Like I wanted to make sure that people came and had a good time. Because we got a lot of stress in the world as it goes day to day anyway.
Right.
Those 2 or 3 hours you there, you can just come in, grab some drinks, grab some food, do some hookah, party, get your mind off it. And then go home and, get home safe, go back to your normal life. So that's why I do day parties and stuff more than night parties as well, because I want people to go ahead and, I like ending my night. I got older, I want to end my night earlier.
Right.
So I do day parties, but for the most part, again, just be organic in what you're doing and don't cheat the grind either. Like, I think it's a lot you can learn. So I know people who want to go straight into being a promoter without the grind of like understanding what street teamwork look like.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where you learn that the work ethic it takes to get to the point of throwing the parties and make sure people come all the time. Because you do more parties, you need people to come consistently. And I think sometimes, like I got some people that I know, some young niggas I know that I'm cool with, they be trying to like cheat the grind part, like, because they think they kind of popping. And I think that you could be popping, but throwing a party is a different ball game. And I think that that's the part. Don't cheat the grind. Like, don't cheat the understanding the nuances.
Yeah.
Because you can be cool and nobody pull up to your party.
True. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Now, here's what some other people would say. If I could play devil's advocate, right? Because I'm also looking at it as like an analytical kind of thinker, right? And kind of person. So, being the fact that, because as we mentioned earlier, the art of doing the hand-to-hand thing isn't really, it's a lost art. So a lot of it now is seeing my face on the screen, me flexing, doing this and that, showing that I'm popping, whether it's real or fake, you know what I'm saying? And it's really the personality that comes across now that draws people in. And that was going to be my next question. So like when it comes to promoting, street teaming, how much of it is personality, online personality in this day and age of TikTok, Instagram, social media? Yeah.
Well, that's why I said organic, right?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, who you are online should be who you are offline as well. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't be being a character unless you're trying to be in a true characterization. Like for me, like I ain't funny. People think I'm funny.
Right.
So I do funny characters like Fat in the Robe when I'm doing my promo in the Robe. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm doing Fat in the, I got something coming out for Cinco de Mayo, but I got that for Cinco de Mayo. Like characters in that way are different, but I'm also a character off the camera too. You know what I'm saying?
In real life.
So if you're organic, that's what I mean. Like if you're organically doing it to provide an experience for people. Because like for me, I don't even try to do it for the money because everything we do don't make the money, right? So like I did a adult spelling bee last year. Yeah. That's not a very lucrative event. That's just something to provide an experience for people to come and have a good time. And that's why I do events, to make sure people have a good time. And then I can make some money from it. But the experience is what I'm after. So that's why organic is important.
Adult spelling bee.
Oh, it was a drunk adult spelling bee at Section last year.
What?
Yeah.
That's lit.
And the funny thing about that event is it didn't start off the way it finished. And what I mean is like, I couldn't find any people to. I had people who was gonna volunteer to be in the spelling bee, but when it came down to the day, I had a lot of people fall out, which is okay. Things happen, right? But when it started and people were coming in, people wanted to be a part of it. So I ended up going from like maybe 5 spellers, 3 spellers, and 2 of my friends that was there to like 20 people wanting to spell, and people coming in late. Can we do a word? And having the lightning round for them coming in. It's just like it went.
That's lit.
It would end up being a dope event.
I ain't gonna lie. That's so. When it comes to promoting, I've never heard of nobody doing adult spelling bee.
Drunk adult spelling bee. Yeah.
I've heard. Everybody does karaoke. Yeah. You got different kind because there's a party and there's different themes and it's just a party, but then you got events, and that's a whole another way to flip it, and that's lit. So what other kind of events have you done besides a typical party?
So. Yeah, my ultimate goal is to do other events as well, but I've done like an engagement party. One of my homeboys was going to propose to his girl. Okay. So we made it look like a regular party, but then we had to look at the decorations and making sure our homegirls, everybody knew what was going on. So arranging that with the club, making sure everything got getting in the right way where he could propose. So I did that. I did a retirement party for one of my homegirls. Her mom retired. So I went and got a venue and helped, find some decorators and stuff for that. I got... I say this, I got a trampoline park party coming up where it's like a little day party at the trampoline park. You know what I'm saying? We big kids. Lit. Yeah. So I hit them up.
Which park are you?
It's going to be at the one in North Lake.
Okay.
Sky Zone.
Altitude. Oh, Sky Zone? Okay. Yeah. We got an Altitude out here. Okay. But, it's like, I guess one of the brands, whatever.
Skate party.
Skate parties.
Silent party. You put the headphones on.
I've seen them. I haven't done one yet. I haven't done one yet.
I might need to do one of them real soon. Them be fun. I'm gonna tell you because the best one I've been to was one where they had 3 different DJs. So every station was different. But they had 3. One was like reggae.
Where was it at?
Man, I forgot where it was at. It might have been at Moorhead Tavern.
Damn.
But I forgot where it was at. But that joint was fire.
You
had
do
old school reggae and you had your regular upbeat.
Yeah.
Man, that joint. It might have been at Rooftop. Man.
Yeah.
Rooftop
So
210.
I've never done one of those events.
Yeah.
I love the concept. I think it's real dope, but it's really a competition between DJs. Really.
100%.
100%.
100%.
So
you want to see them green lights or that red light,
right,
or that blue light?
So, but you've done one of those, right?
Yeah. I've done one of
so
those before.
how is there like a way to track time to see who has the most playing time, listening time? How do you know who wins?
I don't know, but I just look at when everybody headset. Well, the headsets I get, the ones they light up. So whoever the blue DJ is, you can see the blue light on the headset.
You have to rent those?
Yeah.
Where do you get them from?
I gotta find a vendor that man, I haven't done one in 3 years.
Okay.
But I found a vendor at that time.
Okay.
To do it.
We gotta look that up and get back to that and hopefully, maybe get them on the podcast. Definitely. I want to get everybody. Not just DJs, promoters, club owners, people in the industry. Yeah. So vendors, technology companies. We're gonna make this a big thing. So
it's gonna be dope, bro.
For sure.
But yeah, man, those be dope parties. I did karaoke, of course. We do karaoke. We used to do a karaoke back in the day at Apostrophe. I don't know if you remember Apostrophe Lounge.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Good Drinks and Bass.
Are they closed now?
Closed. It's called something else now.
That's why. Yeah, I remember them. Yep.
Yeah. So
it was like an uptown somewhere or
right in South End.
Yep, I do remember them. I never been though. I remember the sign.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in the art show. I got an art show. Like I said, I got an art show coming up. I'm doing a wine education event. Got that coming up this year as well. And then I'm doing like live bands and stuff like that. Kind of get into that space.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, look, man, I appreciate you coming out here. I know, you got a party to get to. One more time, man, you want to tell the folks where to find you, tell them your Instagram, where they can find you online and everything?
Yeah, man. You can get me at Fat in the Hat on Instagram at _Fat in the Hat. And that's FATN, D as in dog, AHAT. So
shout out to the bros.
Shout out to the bros. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then follow my nonprofit, Big Wave Family, on IG. You can also follow Big Wave Promotions on IG. I'm on LinkedIn, Marcellus J. James on LinkedIn as well. If you need your resume redone, you can find me on IG at Next Step Consulting Group as well. So, we ain't get into that, but I can do that too.
Word, man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, fam, coming through. Again, like I said, this is our first inaugural episode, man. Hey, man, it's been a journey, real talk, like trying to get all this set up and trying to get folks to, find time to come out here, man. But you the first one. I know, your time is precious. Everybody's time is precious, man. So I really appreciate you coming out.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me, man. It was well worth it, man. I'm glad I came, man.
Word. Thank you, man.
My brother.
All right, everybody. That's it. It's a wrap. First episode, Going Out Podcast. Tune in. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of cool shit. You know what I mean? This is the first episode, so tune in for the next one. We out, baby. 1.